Welcome to Concept Craft. We are presenting step-by-step videos training to crack your certification exam, so you can gain the confidence to take on any accounting challenge. Now let's begin our today's lesson. Adding and managing users. In this lesson, we'll cover assigning and managing user permission settings in QuickBooks Online. Topics: user types and permissions, adding a new user to QuickBooks Online, editing and deleting users, adding and managing users, giving people what they need. If you didn't invite the client to QuickBooks Online during the sign-up process, you'll need to add them once you've set it up. The client will likely need to add other users too. However, they may want to keep some of their company information confidential and control who has access to specific areas and features of the business. How can you in QuickBooks Online help? When clients add a user in QuickBooks Online, they can choose which areas of the business the person has access to, and what the person can see and do within that area. You can control these permissions by selecting a user type for each person added to the company file. Some user types have predefined permission levels, while others can be customized to match the requirements of the individual user. User types and permissions. Let's start by looking at the user types you or your clients can add to QuickBooks Online. When adding a user, your client can manage their role and limit their access to specific tasks. They can also choose what the person can see and do within different areas of QuickBooks Online, such as customers and sales, or vendors and purchases. To achieve this, set the person up as the appropriate user type from the list below. Select each user type to see what they can and can't do. Primary admin. The primary admin has access to every part of the QuickBooks Online account. They can manage all other users and other admin tasks. By default, the primary admin is the person who initially set up the account. So if you signed up the client from QuickBooks Online Accountant, you'll be the primary admin. However, you can reassign the role of primary admin to a company admin user once you've invited someone for this role and they've accepted. Note that there can be only one primary admin per company, regardless of the subscription level. Follow this link to find out how to change the primary admin user in QuickBooks Online. Company admin. A company admin has access to all areas of QuickBooks Online, including company settings. They also have full access rights to all other products and services the client subscribes to, such as QuickBooks Payroll and QuickBooks Payments. To protect the company's data, only the primary admin can add a new company admin user. QuickBooks Online will ask the primary admin to confirm their identity before it sends the email invitation to the proposed company admin user. Standard user. When you or your client set up someone as a standard user, you can control which areas of QuickBooks Online they have access to. You can give them access to everything, allowing them to work with customers, sales, vendors, and expenses, as well as perform tasks such as adding and editing accounts. Limit their access to areas relating to customers and sales and/or vendors and expenses. However, they won't be able to carry out any admin tasks. Restrict their access so they can only manage certain things and submit their own timesheets, but not access any accounting features. If the client has payroll enabled, they can use the payroll access checkbox to allow or restrict access to employees' salary details and other sensitive payroll information. This is useful if, for example, an employee is responsible for creating invoices but won't need access to payroll. Custom role, QuickBooks Online Advanced. Custom roles have even more refined and tailored permissions than standard users. For example, you or your client can set up a custom role so that the person can only see the bank deposit screen. Once you set up custom roles, you can assign the custom role to client users. Follow this link to learn more about adding custom roles in QuickBooks Online Advanced. You'll also find more in-depth training in the lesson on custom roles in QuickBooks Online Advanced. Reports only, QuickBooks Online Plus and Advanced. Reports only users sign into a special version of QuickBooks Online that gives them access to almost all reports, except reports showing payroll and contact information. Everything a reports only user needs is in this view. They won't see the following features. The accountant tool is at the top, even if they're accessing the reports center from QuickBooks Online Accountant. The left-hand navigation, including the plus new function. Reports only users still have access to most functions in the reports center, such as being able to add reports to their favorites. They can create custom reports and add report groups, but can't view the actual transactions. Time tracking only. Time tracking only users sign into a special version of QuickBooks Online that only allows access to the timecard feature. They can fill out and change their own timesheets, but they don't have access to other users' timesheets. Adding a new user to QuickBooks Online. Let's see how to add a new user to a QuickBooks Online company whose role will be to manage invoices. Note that only the primary or company admin can add new users. From the gear icon, select Manage Users. Select the Users tab. Select Add User. Next, select the correct user type. In this case, we want to give limited access without admin privileges, so we select Standard User. Select Next. On the next screen, specify the access rights the new user should have to allow access only to invoices. Select the Limited option and check the Customer box. Select Next. On the new screen, answer some further questions about user settings. When done, select Next. Add the name and email of the employee to give access to. This will be their user ID. Select Save. The new user now appears in the Manage Users screen. Note that the status is invited. The employee will get a notification email with a link. They need to follow the link to sign in and get access. Editing and deleting users. Once a user is added to QuickBooks Online, you or the client can edit their user profile. To do this, select Edit from the Action column in the Manage Users screen. From here, clients can update the person's name and email address. They can also change their user type. For example, suppose the employee they previously set up as a reports-only user now needs access to the full accounting tools and features. In that case, clients can select the appropriate option from the user type dropdown. They then need to configure their permissions the same way as when they add a new user. You and your clients can also delete a user from the company when, for example, an employee leaves the business. To this, select Delete from the drop-down next to Edit in the Action column. Summing up. Learning outcomes. Well done. In this lesson, we covered assigning and managing user permission settings in QuickBooks Online. Knowledge recap. You can now help your client add and manage users in QuickBooks Online. Clients will want to ensure that employees can access the areas and features of QuickBooks Online that they're meant to, but nothing more. Next steps. In the next lesson, we'll cover how clients can enhance their QuickBooks Online company with integrable apps.